Hey everyone, it's Karen from the VBets and welcome to a game called Spectacular Fantasy. A friend recommended me this game, and yeah, I don't really know much about this game. All I know is that it's spooky, but it's a dating simulator. I don't really know. It's gonna be the first on the channel. How my friend doesn't get me demonetized. Alright, what's my name? I'm just kidding. We'll put what I usually put for stuff like this. Enter. This is probably a terrible idea. You thought to yourself and click the lock button on your car keys and give one final grimace to the source of your current predicament. You've been driving home from a get-together at your friend's house when your car has started making an awful grinding noise. I'm bad with words. I don't know why. A cane to a broken chainsaw, causing you to pull over before your engine caught fire or something. Sounds like my luck. Typical Tuesday, you know. Figures that you were forced to pull over in the densely wooded forest on the outskirts of town you live in. Couldn't your car have chosen to break down in a location that wasn't the prime setting for a horror movie? I told you, typical Tuesday. No, do not start thinking about horror movies when you're currently standing in the middle of a goddamn woods at 1 in the morning. Yeah. Pulling the second source out of grief out of your pocket, you check one final time to see the no service icon flashing at the top of your phone screen. Of course, your first instinct was to call someone to pick you up and save you from this nightmare you found yourself in. But those hopes have been dashed quickly. The stretch of forest between your town and the neighborhood one your friend lives is in the notorious for being a dead zone. So of course, this is where your traitorous car would choose to break down. With another heavy sigh, you start your trek along the side of the road. You had debated sleeping in your car until morning, but you know your town was only a mile or two from your current location, and it wouldn't take you a ridiculously long time to make it there. If it's 1 a.m., it's 1 a.m. I'm sleeping in the car. Besides, it's not like you suddenly have cell service in the morning anyways. You'd have to walk one way or another. Yeah, but it's less spooky in the morning. Terrible idea indeed, but here you are walking. However, despite your present circumstances, it's truly a beautiful autumn night. Autumn looks like spring. The air is cool, but unfortunately, so with the sweater you're wearing, as the night is free of any clouds, allowing moonlight to illuminate the road ahead of you and eliminate the need for your emergency flashlight you had grabbed from the trunk of your car before you left. It was easy to get lost in admiring the way the moonlight filtered in through the trees around you, or just how many stars were glittering in the sky above. There are worse nights your car would have chosen to break down. Still, though, you're currently stuck walking along the road in the middle of a forest. Give and take. So, it's so easy to get caught up in stargazing. In fact, you nearly jumped straight out of your skin when you heard a stick crack from the woods off to your side. That's fine, it's the woods. There's nocturnal animals. Noises are normal. You wanna know what's not normal? The music changing. What's up with that? You repeat that to yourself like a mantra as you continue your hike. Now on high alert to the various sounds from the trees on the other side of the road. What is this, the Watchers? Every time a branch breaks or rustling can be heard from the dense underbush, you're walking speeds up until you're nearly jogging. Your heart is hammering almost painfully in your chest as paranoia runs rampant in your mind of all the terrible things that could be lurking out of sight in the trees around you. Just as you're about to call it quits and run screaming back to your car, you see a break in the trees just ahead of you. That's right, you almost forgot. It's a decently popular urban legend among the teens in your town, and you were used to hearing stories about it growing up as a kid when you went to school with. I read that wrong, and what the heck did I click? Briarwood Manor. A giant Victorian mansion that's been left abandoned in the forest by your town for God knows how many decades. No one knows who owns it, nor if anyone has seen any for sale signs outside it to your knowledge. It just simply exists, sitting alone and abandoned in the woods. According to the legend, the manor is haunted. You know, like every other abandoned mansion there is on the planet. That's simply a fact of life. Grass is green, the sky is blue, and abandoned mansions are haunted. It's not uncommon for teenagers to dare each other to spend the night in Briarwood Manor. One of your classmates even took up the challenge after his friend had bet him $20 he couldn't last the night. From what you heard, he didn't even last an hour before he was running out the front doors. You aren't incredibly superstitious yourself, so you haven't ever been terribly concerned with the manor. If anything, it'd be fun to investigate from an urban explorer perspective, just to see how things were back in the time period the mansion was constructed in. Well, apparently that time is now. Rather than enduring another minute, of your brain plugging you with images of mountain lions charging at you from the trees, you take a chance waiting out the night in the manor. And why we could, what why don't we just go back to the car? Why are we spending a night in the creepy manor? We are not in Haunted Mansion Part 3, alright? This is about to be Haunted Mansion Part 3. I don't want to be in it. After briskly turning onto the dirt path that led to the property, you can already see the looming shapes of the manor from between the gaps in the trees. Oh yeah, 'cause that doesn't look haunted. My god. You slip your way through the gap in the rustled iron gates that mark the entrance to the property, the metal imitating a shrilled scratch into the darkness around you, causing you to wince. It is impossible not to acknowledge the beauty of the manor. Beauty? What beauty? Tell me, what is beautiful about this thing, other than it looks like it came straight out of a 1990s horror movie? Modern buildings truly do pale in comparison to architecture like this. Every little detail, from the integrity design carved into the wooden door all the way into the elegant swooping metal of the porch railing, had clear love poured into the creation. It's a shame it's abandoned, left to rot out here in the woods like this. You love to call a place like this your home. Well, after some major repairs and TLC, that is. As beautiful as the manor was, there was no glossing over the fact that most of the visible windows either cracked or shattered completely. Wooden planks have been nailed across the broken windows, most growing moss and showing clear signs of weathering. No one had come here to perform maintenance in a very long time, yeah, that's what the whole meaning of abandon is. I'm playing as an idiot. It really is strange that nothing was ever done with Blairwood Manor. You'd think to yourself, clearly it was worth money before it fell into such despair. Surely it would have either been sold off or demolished at some point. After making your way up the creaky wooden stairs, you find yourself standing in front of the doors to the Briarwood Manor, and are suddenly hit with a new wave of, or we're gonna say, smell. Were you really going to do this? I mean, the car is right back there. It still wasn't too late to go back and sleep into the car until the morning. But that required making the hike all the way back to the dreaded forest that put you on the front porch to the manor to begin with. If stranded in the woods, a broken down car wasn't the perfect setting for a horror movie. And the mansion is? A supposedly haunted, abandoned mansion definitely was. No, what are you getting anxious for anyways? Teenagers come here all the time. No one's ever gotten hurt to your knowledge. Yeah, no one's ever really stayed a whole night though. Besides, ghosts weren't real. Just a bunch of dumb stories kids tell each other to get scared for fun. Play Phasmophobia. Alright, enough of the mental gymnastics with yourself. You're going in. Much to your surprise, the front door swing open with relative ease. The ancient hinges give a groan in protest, announcing your presence to the empty manor. Is anyone home? Oh, that was bad. Honey, I'm home. Welcome to Bearwood Manor. Your story begins. You're expecting the front doors to be locked, though at the same time, you really don't feel like looking for another entrance by hauling yourself through the window or something. You pull the emergency flashlight out of your backpack and click on it. The beam of light flickering a few times before miraculously staying on. Worst comes to worst, you can always use your phone flashlight, but you'd rather avoid draining the battery unnecessarily. Especially if you're going to be stuck in a dusty old mansion till morning. You need something for entertainment. Taking your first few hesitant steps into the manor, you sweep the flashlight beam around the room and survey your surroundings. The room you find yourself in seems to be the foyer. A large wooden staircase can be seen at the back of the spacious room, leading up to what seems like to be a small landing. There are two hallways on either side of the foyer that presumably lead to a different wing of the mansion. There isn't much furniture in this room, just a small settee and a few tables placed here and there. However, a large, elegant, carved manor into the corner of the room does give you a fright when your flashlight beam passes over, causing the glass to flash back at you. Honestly, you're shocked at how intact the mansion was. There's no graffiti like you expect to find from such a popular teen hangout spot. Even weirder is that all the furniture is still here. Surely, such nice antique pieces would have fetched a decent price if sold. Well, you know, I got a pretty big back pocket, and that vase over there looks like it can fit. So, you know. What doesn't surprise you, however, is the sheer amount of dust. Every visible surface is coated in a thick blanket of it, and dust molecules can be seen floating lazily throughout the air, visible in silver beams of moonlight streaming through the windows. You can even make out footprints in the dust on the floor from previous visitors. Well, since you're stuck here for the rest of the night, you might as well explore a bit more. Where to first? Head up the staircase, head down the hall to the first floor. I want to go up the staircase. After climbing up the staircase, you turn to briefly admire the foyer from your new vantage point. Just seeing one room so far, you've already decided that this is one of the coolest places you've ever visited. Maybe you'll come back sometimes during the day. Maybe you won't. You make your way across the landing and to the other side of the foyer, second floor. Part of you is worried about falling through the floor, but the landing seems sturdy enough. You're surprised about the lack of water damage given the broken windows everywhere. You haven't spotted any holes in the roof, so it makes sense, you suppose. The landing leads to a large wooden door with an oriented carving metal handle. You grasp the handle and push the door inwards, revealing a dark and tall way. I chose the wrong way to go. What is that? Looks like a camera. The light from your flashlight does little to cut through the darkness of the long hallway, causing your mind to wander about what unseen things could be lurking in the gloom just outside the flashlight beam. Excuse me. That's not the mindset you need for exploring a creepy old mansion like this. The walls of the hallways are lined with stoners, surprisingly still holding half-burned candlesticks, and the wooden floor is covered with elegant-looking red carpet. The hallway extended out towards the left and the right, as well as heading straight ahead. Wow, this place is massive. Rich people are on a whole nother level. You wanna know what's on a whole nother level? Japanese people. Shout out to all my Japanese out there. Y'all are built different. We gotta nerf you. You try the door knobs as you make your way down the middle of the hallway. Odd, all the rooms so far have been either locked or jammed. Then the beam of your flashlight passes over a door that seems to be partly cracked open. Ooh, what the? However, upon going to push the door open, you're met with resistance. It feels like something is blocking the door from inside. Brave or stupid? Do you watch horror movies? Oh. Was that a bad idea? Should I have done that? Am I going to die? You give the door one final strong push to see if you can dislodge whatever is blocking it before giving up and peering through the crack. The room looks to be a bedroom. From what you can tell, you can spot a large canopy bed against the far wall as well as a vanity. What's most surprising is in how good of condition the room looks to be in. Sure, like the rest of the manor is dusty, but there's no other signs of damage. He also managed to get a look at what's blocking the doorway. A large dresser has been moved in front of the door to prevent it from opening more than a few inches. That's unsettling. Why would the door be blocked from the inside as if wanting to keep someone out? And more importantly, how would whoever moved the dresser get out of this room? This is the second floor of a mansion, so not unless they could climb out the window. Well, maybe they did, you never know. Maybe they jumped out of it. Maybe they didn't like life. I should stop. Maybe there's another exit from the bedroom. I heard a noise inside my house, now I'm freaked. Maybe there's another exit from the bedroom that you can't see from here. Regardless, the idea is enough to give you the creeps. As you turn away from the doorway, however, you hear a loud thunk from the bedroom, causing you to freeze up in terror. Sounds like if something had toppled to the floor all of a sudden. You back away from the door. Your senses now on high alert for any other signs of activity. Mercifully, there are none. Maybe your movement in the mansion simply caused something in the room to fall over. Well, let's try the door again. Vibrations from walking around and all that. A nice, rational explanation. With that, you decide to explore further down the hallway. Luckily, the next door you try to enter swings open easily. You shine your flashlight into the room and look around before going in. Well, this room screams haunted as heck. This looks to be a large, cozy... Oh, I read that wrong. This looks to be a large... Oh, no, I did. Cozy-looking drawing room. There's several couches and chairs spread out across the room, and a large fireplace sitting against the wall. Wow. This was easily double, if not triple, the size of your living room back at your house. Who even needs this many places to sit in one room anyways? Maybe the family that once owned Briarwood Manor entered often. In any case, you step fully into the room and begin walking around to examine things further. As you walk past a large mirror hanging on the wall. However, something that causes your breath to hitch and ping a fear. Wait, what? There's a shadowy figure standing in the corner of the room behind you. Ooh. Eesh. Ah. Okay, so here's the plan. This is the mirror, right? Is that a lamp? If that's a lamp, we take that lamp and we throw it at whatever's in the shadow. If that's not a lamp, we take that dresser and throw it at him. Quickly spin around, nearly dropping your flashlight in the progress. Oh, it's the first time we're talking? Oh. There's an ordinary decorative plant stand with a long sense impressive. I read that so wrong. God, you're paranoid. You don't have to tell me twice. Though, you could have sworn the figure you saw in the mirror had arms and a head. Yeah, no, don't think that. No, don't start thinking like that. You might have playing tricks on you. Still, though, you move to the other side of the room to avoid the mirror, just in case. Eventually, you decide you've had your fill of this room and walk towards the door to find another room in the mansion to explore. Just as you cross the threshold back to the hallway, you feel a sudden cold breeze brush past you, making your hair flutter slightly. Before you can react, you feel the sleeve of your sweater being tugged on as if someone was trying to get your attention from behind you. Well, if someone's doing that to me, I'm gonna spin around and I'm gonna give them that smack of the back of my hand. Alright, the face's gonna be imprinted on my hand. You let out a panicked, startled noise and jump forward before quickly whipping around to look. There's no one behind you, and the room is just as empty as it was 10 seconds ago. A shaky breath escapes you as you try to calm down your racing heart and think of a responsible explanation. Your sleeve probably got snugged on the door handle to the room as you were walking out. It's not like that's happened to you at your own house before. As for the breeze, there are broken windows everywhere. It wasn't out of the equation. Of the question. I like equation better. Regardless, you need to change the scenery after that small scare. Yeah, this is not better. Why does the music sound like someone's dying? Like, you know when you're watching a movie and then like the main character is like dying? This is what would be playing. After heading into the hallway and closing the door to the drawing room behind you for good measures, you decide to head down to the opposite direction of which you originally came. The other end of the hallway looks nearly identical, and you briefly wonder if the people who lived here prior ever got the rooms mixed up from time to time. Probably. Once again, you're met with a small handful of locked doors before you find one that opens for you. Weird. The ghost is about to play Beethoven, isn't it? Ooh, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can make out a face. Wait, what'd that say? You go up that way. Oh, I wanted to see how far I could go back. Anyway, you scope out the new room and are mildly surprised to see a massive grand piano sitting in the center of it. Your flashlight shines on several other musical instruments in that room as well. Name another instrument that you see besides that big-ass piano. There's a cello leaned up against the wall in the corner. Where? Where? A flute is sitting in this case by the window, so where? Where? And a violin resting on the coffee table. Is that it? Then where? By one of the couches. It was hard to believe that this place was so massive that it had a room dedicated entirely to playing music. Again, you're struck with the thought of how this odd mansion really was. Clearly, the people who used to live here had loads of money, so why was it just left to rot in the woods? Surely someone would have been interested in buying this place in the decades it's been here. So much of the furniture and decorations were left behind too, even the musical instruments in this room. It was all just so weird. Maybe you tried doing some research on Blairwood Manor after you got home in the morning. Well, after a nice long nap, that is. You're pulling an all-nighter after all. You push those thoughts aside and walk out the room. Walk around the room to explore a bit. The violin on the table catches your attention as you walk up to it. Strangely enough, there doesn't seem to be a speck of dust on the wooden surface. The moonlight shining in through the window shows off just how shiny the instrument is. There are a few pieces of sheet music resting on the table as well. You notice they are yellow from age, but otherwise seem to be in good condition. Maybe one of the teenagers or other people who came to explore the mansion before you decided to mess around and play the violin. I mean, it was possible. I don't know. The more you find in this mansion, the more questions you have. A shiver shoots down your spine. A shiver shoots through you suddenly. It feels like the temperature in the room has dropped a few degrees in the span of a couple of seconds. If y'all don't know, which you guys should know from Ghost 101, ghosts are cold. So, when all of a sudden, you're in a room that's pretty warm, and then it gets cold, just know that Casper the friendly ghost is here to say hello! A quick glance around the room shows that a few of the windows are broken. Probably just the draft then. Okay. You're suddenly pulled from your thought, however, by the sound of a noise being played. I told you! He's playing me Beethoven! Bro, he is the next Beethoven. I told you. I knew it. I called it. The sudden noise makes you jump as your heart skips a beat. You stand completely still as you stare at the piano with wide, unblinking eyes, debating whether or not to flee the room. And what are you gonna do if you stay in the room? Play with the ghost? Might as well crack open those violin skills. It's most likely a mouse, right? Besides the piano caused that noise? That could be an easy case, right? Why don't you go check? The stupid mansion's gonna take years of your life off if you keep getting started on things like these. I read that wrong too. I'm bad at this. Perhaps you jumped the gun a bit too quickly about playing it off as a mouse inside the piano. A mouse wouldn't be able to play a perfect... Yo, I told you. This ghost, he's reading my thoughts. I think he's in the same room with me. That's it. Stay in the mansion is officially over. You really regret giving your classmates so much shit for buying into all that ghosts. Stories about Briarwood Mansion. I can't read! What time is it? It's 10:41 p.m. That's probably why I can't read. Back when you were still in school. Maybe you had believed in them, you wouldn't be in this situation right now. I tried to tell you. Play Phasmophobia. Without waiting to see what other nightmares in the mansion had in store for you, you jump to your feet and scramble to get to the door. However, before you can reach the doorknob, you hear something that causes you to freeze up in terror. Is he playing more Beethoven? You don't want to stay for my encore performance? No. A voice calls out from somewhere in the room behind you. Assumingly clearly evince its tone, ripping you out of your thoughts and sending a chill down your spine. Your head whips around, getting that whiplash, to look for the source of the voice, but the room is just as empty as when you entered. The room is now dead silent. The only noise you can hear is your heart pounding in your ears. Without waiting for something else to happen, you throw open the door and bolt into the hallway, prepared to leave the mansion as soon as possible. But, just as you're about to reach the open doorway that leads back into the foyer, however, the wooden door slams shut in your face and you hear the unmistakable sounds of a lock clicking into place. No, 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 no! This is not happening. You uselessly try and turn the doorknobs as your brain starts desperately trying to work out another way out of this mansion. Did you really think I'd let you leave that easily? You just got here, didn't you? Stay and enjoy yourself a little longer. No, I'm not good. Please don't hurt me. The same disembodied voice rings out into the empty hallway once again, sounding even more amused than before. and accompanied by a taunting laugh. Without even thinking, you run to the other end of the hallway, away from where the voice came from, nearly tripping in the process in your haste to get away. You're about to throw yourself You're about to throw yourself through the threshold of the first open doorway. You find and slam the door shut behind you, fumbling to decide to lock it in place. It takes a solid minute or two before you finally thought I heard another noise. Ooh, I really need to keep a knife by me. Before you finally tear, your terrified gazed away from the door, convinced that the voice you heard in the hall wasn't going to chase you in here. Really? Turning you I can't read. I'm good at reading. You can check my ELA. I'm great. I was great back then. I just blame me being tired. You survey the new room that you find yourself in. Oh wow, we chose a great room to hide in. You weren't expecting the literal horror movie right in front of you. I might have to end the video here and then continue it tomorrow morning because I just heard another noise and I'm freaked the heck out. You aren't experiencing a literal horror movie right now. You fall in love with this room. It's huge. Nearly every available wall is lined with bookshelves full of more volumes than you could ever hope to count. A sizable stone fireplace is nestled between two of the bookshelves, with two soft-looking velvet cushions facing each other in front of it. Couches. Too bad. The only thing in your mind right now is getting the heck out of this place. Otherwise, you'd love to curl up here and indulge in some good books. You bite your lip as you contemplate where you. I'm tired. This is a bad idea. Where you could go from here. There's no other doors in the library. Leaving the only exit, the one you came in from. There's a window to the far side of the room, but you're on the second floor. Time to jump! You can spot what looks like trails outside. Maybe you can scale down it to the yard below. Then again, it has to be ancient just like the rest of this manor. You don't trust it would be able to support your weight. While debating the pros and cons of broken legs, you hear a loud thump in the room behind you, causing a strangled cry to escape your lips. Spinning around, you see a heavy-looking book on the floor in front of one of the bookshelves. Why did you even think of locking if the door would work? Ghosts can move through walls, dumbass. Suddenly, another book flies off the shelf and skids across the floor, coming to a stop at your feet. Trails it is. Without waiting to see what else the ghost would do to you, you rush out to the window and throw it open, the crisp autumn air blowing your hair back. Right as you got one foot on the windowsill, however, a sharp cry rings out behind you, and you panic Lace's voice calls out for you. Whoa, hang on, I'm sorry, okay? The mansion doesn't need two ghosts. Before you can put your full weight on the trails, you cry out in surprise as two chilly arms wrap themselves around your waist and yank you back through the window and into the library. Whew, well if that thing can grab me and yank me, it can definitely feel my backhand on its face. That's what we're gonna do. Alright? You, along with what you assume is the ghost, go sprawling to the floor. Your elbows bang to the wooden floor painfully, but the most of your fall is cushioned by the body beneath you. If I can feel it, alright? If I can touch it and I don't go through it, I'm smacking it. Alright, I'm smacking the absolute dog out of it. Ow. Rolling to the side, you push yourself to your knees before casting a glance at the figure beside you. Oh, well, that's not creepy. Murderous ghost you're expecting. Oh? Okay, he kinda cute, not gonna lie. He looks like an ordinary boy, probably close to your age. If you had to guess, the only thing off about him is the sickly pallor of his skin and the slight transparent of his form. So this is why my friend recommended me this game. I should stop taking recommendations from my friends. Noticing you looking at him, he quickly sits up and looks you up and down with a worried expression on his pale face. Don't check me out, alright? I told you I will roundhouse kick you. I never said that, but I'm saying it now. Why do you have that bandage around your neck? Oh my god, are you okay? Can we throw him out the window? Question. Will he be mad if I do that? You stare at... Oh. Scared me. Actually, might as well save. You stare at him incredulously a few moments. Your brain's still trying to work through this whole insane situation. Yeah, I'm fine, but before you can finish your sentence, the ghost cuts you off with a sigh of relief and buries his face in his hand. That's good. If my heart was still beating, I'm positive that would have stopped it. He lifts his... Bro, your head was never in your hands. He lifts his head from his hands and gives you an exasperated look. He's mad. I can't believe you seriously tried to jump out the window. You would do the same. Come on, everybody else, agree with me. Would you not jump out a window to save your life? I mean, what is it for you broken bones? That caused you to sputter for a moment before pointing an accusatory finger in his direction. Because I thought you were going to kill me. I was trying to escape. I wasn't going to kill you. Why would you even think that? I haven't even laid a finger on you this whole time you've been here. I mean, you kind of wrapped your arms around me. You kind of gave me that squeeze. It was a bit hard to breathe, you know. You pause and contemplate his words for a moment as you climb up to your feet. The ghost doing the same. The ghost is already on its feet. Well, you suppose he has a point. The only harm that's come to you since you've entered the manor has been purely mental damage. Yeah, that's enough to do a lot of things. I mean, yeah, but your voice in the hallway, something straight out of a horror movie. I was fully expecting you to chase me down and eat my soul or something. He's not the devil. This gets the snort out of the ghost and it gives you a small grin. Eating souls? That's a new one. What have you heard? Like, what? No, I just wanted to scare you into the library to keep you here a bit longer. I mean, you haven't even been here that long. So, if I don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. This ghost grin turns into an apologetic smile as he holds out his hand to you. Sorry, let's start over. I'm Cyrus. You hesitantly reach out and grasp his hand, a chill shooting up your arm and how cold his skin is against yours. I'm Beef Boss. That's a lie. You can never tell fake real names because eventually some guy named shoot, what's a Mexican name? I'm not trying to stereotype everyone. Indian. We're not. You know what? Just forget I said that. Cyrus' expression brightens considerably as he eagerly shakes your hand before letting go. Nice to officially meet you. Meet you? I said that right. What? Beef Boss? I'm really sorry about scaring you so badly. It's just been so long since someone has visited. I went a bit overboard. And you can't leave because... Jeez, you're gonna get whiplash at this, right? With the total 180 of this situation. No, it's fine. Just why scare people in the first place? Cyrus seems friendly enough, and and with the amount of times he's apologized in the last 30 seconds, you're pretty sure he wasn't a bad person. Ghost, whatever. If he didn't want to chase people off, why scare them at all? He glances away and stares at the wall for a few moments before replying with an awkward smile. Because it's kind of what ghosts do, you know. His bright red eyes find yours again before he continues. Yeah, bright red. That's a no me gusta. No me gusta. Man, I'm trying to remember this one movie. It's where these three guys, right? They're all teenagers, and they go into his house for a dare. I forgot what the movie was called. And then they meet this dog with red eyes, and they survive the night. Oh, I really want to see that movie, but I forgot what it was called. It was like during Halloween, and there was like, I think it was like a group of brothers died there with their dog. and I really like that movie, but now I can't find it, and I don't know what it's called. So if you know what I'm talking about, please let me know in the comments down below. I will thank you and give you a shout out in the next video. Bright red eyes, find yours again before he continues. I mean, most of the visitors I get are people looking to get scared. I like putting on a good show for them. That's not a normal thing people say, but okay. His gaze falls onto the floor as he rubs the back of his neck. That did make sense. You suppose, given all the urban legends about Blairwood Manor. Teens purposely came here with the hopes of getting scared. It was practically a Halloween attraction. It's fun for me too. It gets boring here. The ghost's voice takes on a bitter tone as he keeps his eyes downcast. You can see there's more to it than just scaring the shit out of teenagers for fun. That's why I try to keep the stories going, so people tell their friends, and I get more visitors. Why are you lonely? Has anyone gotten hurt? I like that one. Bad answer. A pained expression flashes across Cyrus's face, and he's quickly shaking his head. No, of course not. I do not want to hurt anyone. You're the first person I've ever tried to I've ever had that tried to literally jump out a window to get away. Well, what's a guy gotta do? Must just run out the front door.
Oh no, maybe you locked the door to the front door. I don't know.
Oh, shit. What? Must just run out the front door. A small awkward laugh falls from his lips as he shifts his eyes away from yours. It was clear that the question had hurt him and he was trying to brush it off with a joke. That was the wrong answer. So you're stuck here then, aren't you? Cyrus visibly tenses before reluctantly looking back towards you. What do you mean? I'm assuming you can't leave the mansion? You can't pass on or whatever it's called, right? A heavy sigh escapes Cyrus as he crosses his arms and taps his foot against the wooden floor of the lorry. Well, dang, I'm bad at giving good choices. That's what I'm trying to do now. Got it in one. My spirit bound to this property, probably because I died here.
How did you die?
I'm a curious little person. I don't know. It's like I have a convenient little handbook that teaches me about being deceased. You know, everyone, this reminds me of Beetlejuice. What a good movie. He had a point. It must be frustrating being a ghost and not knowing what you're doing. You tap a finger to your chin, wondering where you could go from here. You oddly find yourself wanting to cheer him up. A frown like that didn't suit him. The sheer irony. Like, yeah, he scared the heck out of you and nearly gave you a heart attack, but he isn't a bad person, just lonely. That's how most people are nowadays, lonely. You couldn't imagine being alone. Wait, what? You couldn't imagine being alone for as long as Cyrus has. He can't even leave and go explore the world. Being a ghost must suck. Well, you know, there's the pros. You get to be Casper. So it's pretty good, right? Yeah, that's the only one I got. Well, hey, you had me here for the night at least. Come on, cheer up. That smile was much cuter. I'll keep you company as long as you promise not to give me any more heart attacks. I would go for this because I think that'd make him happy, but that is kind of weird. Yeah, I want to make the best decisions. Oh, fuck, that was the wrong. I was not expecting the blush. I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. Cyrus's eyes go completely wide as he stares at you with his mouth slightly agape. You swear you could even make out a hint of I can't say pink, P-I-N-K, on his pale cheek. He quickly clears his throat before speaking again. And that was the wrong decision. Anyways, in that case, how about a tour? We have plenty of time to kill, so let me show you around the manor. Oh, but first, why don't you tell me how you ended here to begin with? You don't seem like the typical visitor I get. Usually just a teenager daring each other to come inside. You want to hear about me? Of course! You're the first visitor I've had in... He trails off, mumbling numbers under his breath for a few moments before waving his hand. Never mind, it doesn't matter. You're the first in a long time that hasn't run out in the front door in fear by this point. So I'd love to hear more about you. I clearly don't get out much.
Yeah, don't say.
You politely declined to mention that you did in fact try to run out the door in fear. You don't want to hurt his feelings. Well, for starters, you explain how your trader's car broke down and how you had paranoia-filled hike alongside the road until you ended up at Blairwood Manor's front gate. I figured an abandoned mansion would be a better place to wait out the night than rather running all the way back to my car. An awkward laugh escapes you as you finish recounting the events of that night. Sounds ridiculous now that you're saying it out loud to someone. So, you willingly came to a known haunted mansion because you're afraid of some completely normal noises in the wood? That's what I'm saying. Immediately, your head comes up to cover your face. Your hands come up to cover your face and you let out a noise of embarrassment. Why does he look like that now? Shut up with that smug look off your face. You know what? I'd rather you be a scary, murderous ghost. I thought I was going to get mauled by a bear or something. It's completely a natural reaction. This causes Cyrus to burst into laughter and hold his sides. He tries to speak several times but can't manage to get any words.
Remember, everyone,
My hand does not go through him. My hand goes to him. My hand will go across his face. My hand will slap the dog shit out of him. You feel me? He calms down after a few moments and wipes a tear from his eye. Bro, you're a ghost. Do you have emotions? Well, that's a stupid question. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to make fun of you. Well, you're doing a pretty bad job on that, I must say, you know. Really, I haven't joked with someone like this in forever, you understand? He gives you an apologetic smile. So, let's get that tour started, shall we? Sure, lead the way. I think I'll enjoy looking around a lot more now that I don't have to worry about a ghost trying to give me a heart attack. Cyrus grins in response to your snarky tone. Please, if I was really trying to scare you, you'd be on the carpet passed out in terror. That's true, that is true. Bet, I have nerves of steel. I'm gonna politely request that you don't do that. Like I could be a bit scared by such a cute face. I'm rather going for this one or this one. Me personally, I would probably say that. But then again, I do want to make him afraid of me because, you know, if you get afraid of the ghost ain't gonna hurt you. Sarah Spider's a bit clearly caught off guard by your statement. Yeah, once you fear me... Yeah. Once you fear me, okay? And I am the scary one. I become the ghost, okay? I don't have... He fidgets with his sleeve lockets around his neck before seemingly composing himself. Anyways, let's get going. Cyrus eagerly makes his way to the door. Instead of opening it, his body passes right through the wood. Right, ghost. Not even a moment later, the door swings open to reveal a clearly flustered Cyrus. His pale cheeks are even tinted a tiny bit red. Sorry, force of habit. After you. He holds the door open for you. He steps into the hallway. I'm giving the most flirtatious modes, so that way he becomes scared of me. Alright? Once he's scared of me, he's gonna cry, he's gonna lie on the floor, right? And then we run out the front door, and we get saved by Jesus. Sounds like a good plan, right? Starting from the first floor and ending back up here at the library is probably best. Come on. He gestures you to follow, and you walk beside him as the two of you make your way back to the large foyer. You take a moment and stop and admire the room once again before from the landing. My mouth is from talking. Cyrus leans onto the rail next to you and shoots you an eager grin. Ooh, excuse me. Why am I burping? I haven't eaten anything today. It's kind of concerning for you guys, isn't it? Okay, I may have had a little bit of pizza. That's it, though. And maybe a few chips. That was it, though. And maybe some McDonald's. You know what? I was lying. Pretty right. When I was a kid, one of my favorite things to do was slide down the staircase railing. My parents hated it. You nod before looking over to meet his eyes. You grew up here? Lived here my entire life. Well, and afterlife now, I suppose. It'd be a lie to say you weren't curious about his past. But you didn't want to pry right now. You did just me. Me personally, I would have asked how he died. Because I told you, I'm a curious little guy. I wonder how tall we are in the game. I mean, he looks to be taller than us, but then again, he is a ghost. Also, it's probably considerately rude how to ask the ghost what their life was before they, well, you know. I'm gonna think, like, don't take this the wrong way, everyone, but I think that the bandages around here and here, I think he may have gotten murdered, or he tried to take his life. Cyrus didn't seem eager about elaborating either, so you just let it go. This one room in particular, I wanted to show you down here. He leads you down the staircase into the hallway onto the first floor. At the end of the hallway, Cyrus opens up a door and nods his head in for you to go in. Well, this looks creepier than all the other rooms. You quickly realize you probably don't even need your flashlight for this room. It's a beautiful sunroom, complete with massive oriented windows. The ceiling was almost made out of tinted glass, also known as a green room. A greenhouse? Greenhouse. Not green room, greenhouse. I know this room is a little worse for wear, but it's kind of difficult to keep it maintained with all the windows. He says, grimacing at your shoes, crunching on some broken glass as he just finished tweaking. Oh, my bad! My fault! Sorry, I really have no way of repairing any of the glass. Well, clearly if you can hold me, you can pick up the glass. Not at all. I think it's gorgeous. I would kill to have... No, I would murder someone for that frappuccino. That guy's videos are stuck in my head. I'm making so many references to other people today. Pretty crazy. I'm glad you like it. This is one of my favorite rooms. If I'm not in the library, I'm usually here reading during the day. Wait a second. Is that why all the rooms are in good condition? You maintain them? I try to, at least. He lets out a small sigh and glances around all the various debris littered the floor. I tried a lot harder in the beginning, but now I've kind of given up after this many decades. Decades! Decades are... 10 years, yeah. Besides, there isn't much I can do to stop the elements. I was really surprised about how good of a condition the mansion was in when I was exploring earlier. You've done a really good job. I was fully expecting beer bottles and graffiti everywhere, maybe even a pentagram spray painted on the floor surrounded by black candles. Cyrus' expression brightens a bit on your joking tone. It's not as if people hadn't tried to do that. They just get the VIP treatment in those scenarios. I'm almost scared to ask. I totally deserve for trusting us. What treatment did I get then? What is the most answer that would scare him? Cyrus hums thoughtfully and thinks about it for a few moments. You got the honored guest treatment. Yay, me! Just a few harmless pranks, no lasting mental scars. Are we going to ignore how I almost jumped out of the second floor window? I stopped you, didn't I? Not a scratch on you. Told you, kinda pressed a bit too hard, couldn't breathe there for a second, but you're the ghost. Now then, let's move on to another room. I think I know. I might need to move soon. Another noise. Very scary. No one's down here. I think I might know another one of you. I read that wrong, but I'm scared. The two of you head out of the sunroom and into the hallway again. This time Cyrus stops in front of a door and passes right through the wood again. Hear the noise of a lock being turned and the door swings open a moment later. Oh, I want to ask, why are there so many doors locked or jammed? Ah, that's simple. I don't want people getting into them, potentially damaging anything. There are also a few rooms that are in pretty bad shape. I don't want anyone getting hurt in case the floor gives out or something. But mostly, it's to prevent them, like my bedroom, my sister's room, or my parents' room. I don't want anyone going in there but me. His expression turns somber for a moment before he seemingly shakes it off. Smile again. I'm gonna stop right there. Should I do a grow a garden video? I know, pretty random moment to ask, but I am, because it's me. I'm a random guy. Welcome to the channel. So the less rooms people can get into, the less I have to worry. I'm flattered. I very am flattered. I'm a flattered person, right? You flatter me, I'm flattered. Yes! Another thing that'll make him scared of me. Cyrus's eyes quickly dart away from yours as he clears his throat in an attempt to stay composed. Oh, I'm gonna make him scared of me, because when he's scared of me, he's gonna kick me out of the house, we can go to my car, watch some Netflix, and go to bed. I did say honored guest, didn't I? I mean, you've been really respectful and careful about how you interacted with the manor so far. I mean, I kind of jumped out the second floor window, you know, but we're not going to talk about that. So, yes, you get special treatment. Yay, me! I need top tier, 5 stars. This place is on Yelp? I'm gonna make it on Yelp. Come in. There's another room I like spending a lot of time in. Is it the game room? You got Clue? I love Clue. This is not Clue. He leads you into an adorable little tea room. You immediately taken aback by how untouched the room is compared to some of the other areas of the mansion. There's not a single sign of weathering or damage from what you can see with your flashlight. Well, it's kind of dark. The display cases around the cozy room hold oriented plates and teacups, all shapes and designs. Cyrus was right to keep this room blocked off. You can only imagine the field day some stupid little kids would have if they found all these breakable objects. The ghost in question watches you with a bright smile on his face as you walk around the room examining everything. Do you like it? I've always been fond of this room. Is this the tea party room? Is this where you guys play Clue? Do you have Clue? If you have Clue, I'm staying. If you don't, I'm leaving. Or cards. I'm a card type of guy. I know a bit of magic. I know, I'm a man of wonder. My sister and I spent a lot of time here when we did our studies. Where do we live? I think we live in the United Kingdom. I can see why. It's so cute. I love antique tea sets like these. They're all so pretty, said no one ever. I don't know how I feel about you calling my stuff antique. Well, it's old. It's older than time. It's older than Grandpappy Jones. Makes me feel old, which yes, I suppose technically I'm old, but that doesn't mean I have to enjoy being pointed out. I never said you were old. Damn, calm down. Do you mind me asking when you were born? Cyrus looks reluctant to the answers for a moment before he finally says and repeats. Hey, what? You old. Welcome to 2025. Have you seen Japan? Damn, Foxy Crips. I know I'm going to pick that one because I need to make him scared of me. This is the whole plan. I knew this place was old, but I didn't think it was that old. Don't worry about it. I don't view it as old. Size gas and narrows his eyes with a mixture of that and embarrassment. I'm only 19. I don't care how much time has gone by. In any case, I'm glad you like the room. Feel free to look around as much as you want. Thanks, Iris. Can't believe you have a room dedicated to just having tea. After a while longer of looking around the room and making small talk with Cyrus, you two leave the tea room and head back to the manor foyer. Am I scaring him? Is it working? Is it working? It better work. Honestly, there isn't much else to show you downstairs that you haven't already seen. Just the kitchen, a study, a guest bedroom that's seen better days. There are the gardens outside and a greenhouse. I think you like that, but those are better to look at during the day. So I guess you'll just have to come back again sometime for the entire tour. You'd invite me back? Oh, I'd love to. Oh, so you want to spend even more time with me, huh? Scaring him. You're a little flirt, aren't you? No, I'm trying to scare you. So that way when you're scary, you run away and I run out the door. I told you. We go back to the door, we watch Netflix, we chill. I don't care how cute you look, I don't care how young you are. Ghosts are dangerous. Okay? I mean, I know Casper, but like, he ain't here. Casper is the only friendly ghost, okay? I suppose it wouldn't be untrue to say I want to spend more time with you. But that's because it's entirely too long since I've had someone to talk to like this. Sarah seems to be playing it off, but there's a visible pink tint to his pale cheek to say otherwise. Sure, that's the only reason. I'd love to come over again, though. Great! Beef Boss Eye pauses for a moment. It's worth trailing off. Ooh, are you gonna say that you're scared of me? Thank you. You don't understand how much this means to me. I'd love you to come back and visit. Damn it! Didn't work. His words were soft, but full of genuine sincerity and warmth. I haven't had someone I could call a friend in I don't know how many years. I never said we were friends. You can watch the footage. I never said that. If you don't mind me calling you a friend, that is. Okay. I know we just met. We can be friends. I'll give me all bragging rights. How many people can say that they have friends with a ghost? We're not gonna say that. People are gonna think we're crazy. I mean, we are. Welcome to the channel, but like... Actually, about that. Would you maybe keep my existence a secret, please? I thought you wanted people to visit the manor. Wouldn't that help? Well, yes. But too much attention is a bad thing. The odd group of teenagers or urban explorers here, and that are fine. But if a lot of people found out, I'd be worried about my home being torn down or something. He fidgets with the locket around his neck and his eyes cast around to the carpet below. Plus, there was this one time a group of priests came by trying to exorcist me. It didn't work, obviously, but it was really annoying having spout nonsense for 3 hours and throwing holy water on everything. Spoiler alert, that was the Exorcist movie. I haven't watched it. I want to. I just don't have the time. I definitely don't want a repeat of that. I get it. You want to keep the legend of Briarwood Manor being haunted just as a legend. Exactly, you get it. As lonely as it is only having a few handful of people come here a year, better than the alternative. Well, hey, you have me now. I'll keep you company. He emphasized a reassuring smile, trying to make light of the situation. And I swear I won't say a word to anyone. Thank you. You're a really good person, Beef Boss. I mean, not to my friends. I mean, you know how friends are. You mean you roast them, they roast you back. You're mean to them, they're mean to you back. But you always got their back like chiroprac. But you should see me when I'm around my friends, alright? I call them big backs all the time, because they are big backs. Alright, enough depressing talk. Let's continue with the tour upstairs. Oh, I thought that was it. Cyrus leads you up the staircase into the foyer again and into the hallway that goes into 3 different directions. He passes through a door again to unlock it before giving you a grin. You thought it was interesting having a room entirely dedicated to tea, right? Take a look in here. Ooh, is it Clue? You enter the newly opened room, shining flashlight into around it. Ooh, I think there's Clue in here. A game room or pool room, actually. You amend, not noticing any other games in the room. God damn it. Cyrus, you gotta get Clue, alright? I'll be Mr. Green, you can be Miss Scarlet. Okay? Billiards. But yes, it was Colonel Mustard in the billiard room with the wrench. But yes, my father was a huge fan, and all but demanding we have a room for when the house was built. He took us to himself using his spectral fingertip to roll one of the balls around on the table. Have you ever played? I'm notoriously bad at it. I played. I do play in real life. I have a mini set in my basement. But I played regular. Sometimes when I get really bored, I come in and practice. That's way less fun without playing. My ears hurt from having these glasses on. I wear Blu-rays, alright? I don't want my eyes getting hurt while filming videos, you know? How did y'all glasses do it this hurts after? It's only been like, what, an hour maybe? I played a few times, but I'm garbage at it too. Not really, I'm pretty good at it. I mean, if you were to put me in front of the world's best pool table, or I'm gonna get smoked in like the first second, but hey. So let's quickly move to the other side of the room and grabs 2 pool sticks, handing one to you. Ooh, I'd love to play. I'm setting a rule that if the game takes too long, we call it a draw. Go ahead and laugh, but I've spent well over 10 minutes trying to get a single ball into a pocket. Fair. I don't wanna still be playing you well into the morning. I have to head home at some point. You reply, teasing him a bit. A quick glance at your phone shows that it should be getting light out soon, so you'll be able to walk into town. I won't subject you to that torture, don't worry. Two of you began playing a game of pool, and you quickly find out that Cyrus wasn't exaggerating about his ability, or lack of therefore, rather. It took him 5 tries to finally get one of his pool balls into the pocket, and by that point, you already stunk half of yours in. I wanna play! I was promised fun. You said that you're bad too. I was deceived. Maybe you're just worse. Ever thought of that? The ghost lets out a dramatic groan and drives his head onto the edge of the pool table with a gentle tunk. I'm bad, you're just... I'm actually a little impressed. Takes me skills to miss that many times. No shame in it, we all have things we suck at. Thanks, he mumbles, a small pout in his face. He looked adorable. We're going the wrong way, we're going to the flirtatious mode. We need to turn that dial to the scary mode. Cyrus let out a small sigh and stretches his arms over his head. Well, now that we've established just how bad I am at billiards, hope you realize I'm going to practice every day now. Don't look at me like that. You're the one that wanted to play, okay? It's going to turn into an unhealthy obsession until I can finally win against you. You're gonna need more than a few days at this rate. I mean, we've been playing in the dark. What does that say for you? You can see in the dark, can't you? Cyrus gasps and tenderly at your teasing and now his red eyes at you. I'm gonna find something you're good at and destroy you at it. Clue. C-L-U-E. Or cards. Or playing video games. I love doing that. I mean, I make videos on it. Check out my channel, VBAT, link in the description below. I'm actually not gonna do that. I mean, just click on the subscribe button. Make sure you do that, by the way. Good luck beating me at Super Bash Sisters then. Alright, we're really trying to avoid getting sued by Nintendo. Super Bash Sisters, that sounds inappropriate in all the wrong ways. Cyrus goes to repeat, but quickly closes his mouth and stares at you confused. What Super Bash Sisters? Oh my god, for a second I completely forgot you were going from the 18th. Oh, we're calling him old again. It's a video game. A video game is you trail off trying to figure out the best way to explain the concepts of it. Just watch my videos, alright? before he abruptly cuts you off. Oh, I know what those are, I think. In the 1800s? Hang on, let me search this up. I know you did not find one out. When was the first video game made? 1958. Don't lie. Don't lie. Now it's your turn to look confused. How? You can't leave the mansion. No, but do you really think I haven't picked anything up from all the kids that come to explore the place? Okay, that makes sense. I even know what a cell phone is. He smirks at you, looking entirely too proud of himself. Still couldn't beat me at Super Bash Sisters. Try me. Do you have it on your phone? Oh no, there are video games for phones, but most are played on consoles and computers. Hey, like me! Electronic devices. You quickly amend as not to confuse him. But yeah, I have it on my Switch. I can bring it over and we can play sometime. His eyes were practically glittering at the idea. I offer no apologies if I get addicted. Do you have any other idea how boring it is? Oh god, we're gonna turn him into a typical Gen Z or Gen Alpha. Don't! It's not worth it! He's still young! Kind of. Not really. Eh. Somewhere between there. I still have the same old books. Board game. Clue! You have Clue. Do you even know what Clue is? I'm pretty sure I've read every book in that library well over a dozen times by this point. I'm surprised I'm still sane. Holy cow, that's rough. Honestly, I have no cell phone. I could give it to you, but you don't really have a way to charge it. Oh, you need to charge phones for them to continue working? I think that explains why the one I have broke. You have a phone? Silas' expression turns sheepish, and he averts his eyes. I may or may not have spooked someone so badly. They dropped it as they were running out the door. I kept it for them in case they ever came back, though. I think I played with it for almost an entire day, straight before the screen went black and stopped working. Yeah, the battery ran out. You charge them with the electricity and they start working again. Maybe I can find a cheap solar charge online or something. You mumble to yourself, thinking of a solution to Cyrus's problem. In any case, I'll figure something out. I didn't mean to do that, but might as well, right? You offer him a reassuring smile before your attention is caught by the window. Oh hey, the sun's starting to come up. Time flew by. Cyrus gazed through the window. As well, for a moment, an unreadable expression passes over his pale features. He looks nervous, almost scared. However, he quickly puts a smile as his eyes meet yours again. Time for you to head back home, then? Yeah, we'll scare him. We like scaring him. Oh. Wait, what did I say? Oh, you're going to miss me? No, I'll come back tomorrow. Oh, yep, he did. We're not really like scaring him. I'm trying to think of a way I'm gonna write this title. Excuse me. I'm still sick. The virus has worked its way to my nose. Fun, right? Can't breathe. Wait, no, I mean, yeah, you already got caught in 4K. It's being recorded. Chris Hansen. He caused suddenly to compose himself, despite the bright blush on his cheeks. I'd love to have you back. You're welcome anytime, Beef Boss. I'd say I'd come back anytime. And yes, I know. I got Beef Boss from Professor, alright? He's one of my favorite YouTubers. Check him out. It'd be way too exhausting after pulling an all-nighter like this. Not accounting for the trauma you gave me earlier. Please, if anyone has trauma, it's from me, where you nearly killed yourself trying to jump out the library window. And whose fault is that for I tried to jump out in the first place? Most people just cower in the corner and beg me not to kill them, okay? But now knowing the future references, I need to lock all the windows. Why do I keep doing that? Why is that an answer? That's the most yandere thing I've ever heard. Absolute serial killer behavior right there. Wait, that's kinda... We need to scare him. So it looks at you, you've grown a second head. How on earth is that? You know what? Never mind. I don't want you to explain. Yes, feel scared of me. Feel very afraid. So that way I can book it. You want to play Super Brawl Sisters? Not gonna happen. Bye. This is a one-night thing, you know. Man, I'll leave you a 3-star review on Yelp. How about that? I feel like I've learned something about you that I wish I hadn't. Okay, I'm actually gonna replay that. I'm gonna replay that. Do I even know what yandere means? Probably not. We can save that can of worms for another time. In any case, let's get you home. I'll walk you to the front gate. Yay, sunlight! Now that the sunlight was beginning to trickle in through the windows, you shut your flashlight off and tuck it in your backpack, mentally thanking it for being so reliable the entire night. You walk alongside Cyrus as he leads you out the mansion and into the large rusted gate that marks the entrance to his property. He turns to you with a gentle smile on his face. Thank you for, well, everything tonight. Sorry I scared you so much. In the beginning, no hard feelings. Don't worry about it. In retrospect, it was actually kind of fun. Like haunted house for Halloween. Haunted house? Actually, no. You can tell me about that another time. You need to go home and rest up. Thanks, Cyrus. I promise I'll be back before you know it. I've been here over a century. What's another day or so? Careful walking back to town, okay? I'll be fine. Don't worry. See you later, then? See you later. Bye, Beef Boss. You smile and give him a little wave as you exit through the gates and begin your trek back into town. Cyrus is giving you a wave in return as he watches you go by. Did we scare him? That's what the goal was. Eventually, you make it to an area with cell service and you're able to call a friend to come pick you up and take you home. You lied and told him that you slept in the car overnight. You were stuck having to get your car towed by the mechanic, but mercifully, the issue with your car wasn't going to break the bank. It would be fixed in a few days. Thankfully, you worked from home, so needing to imitate transportation wasn't an issue. Soon enough, you are back in the comfort of your own home. Feels like forever since you've been after such a long night. But after looking back on it, you wouldn't change it for anything. How many people can say they have a ghost as a friend? You couldn't help but smile to yourself as you thought of getting to meet Cyrus again. But for now, you climb into bed and pass out not long after. Chapter 1 complete. There's more? What time is it? I don't want to do this for too long. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop this at 12 o'clock. If this game even goes on to 12 o'clock. Because I'm tired. You couldn't help. I don't know how many things there are, so maybe we'll put this into more than one, maybe a series, but we'll find out. You couldn't help yourself but to be eager to get them out of the way as soon as possible, so we could rush over to Briarwood Manor again. To think you were trying to rush out of that place the other night in a fit of terror. With your chores out of the way, you grin to yourself as you pack a bag full of supplies over to bring to the manor. You switch as promised, an old phone, some snacks, a few books for Cyrus to read, and even a portable solar battery you found at the store. Yay, us! And we're here. A wave of giddleness watches over you as you pull up to your bike in the front gate. It was a little weird seeing the mansion during the daytime, but now you could really appreciate the details you missed out on your first night here. As you walk up to the front door, you briefly wonder if you should knock or just head inside. A second later, however, the doors open up by themselves with a large creak. If you didn't know any better, you'd be creeped out. But instead, you grin and walk into the large foyer. Immediately, you spot a familiar, translucent figure walking for you at the base of the grand staircase. Beef Boss, welcome back. Hey Cyrus, I'm actually gonna save. And I lied. I'm gonna end it today. There's obviously more to this game. Wow, I didn't expect there to be. If you want me to make another video on this, make sure you give this video one big fat like. So from the feedback dudes are the GOAT.